Hey everybody, Tom here at Artec Industries. Today we're going to be going over the JK Bellypan as well as the Alpha Series Bellypans. In this video we're going to go over key features and benefits as well as materials used and how they differ from some of the others on the market, as well as showing you the Bellypans installed on vehicles. Off to the left here you see our Alpha Series Bellypan. We're going to go over a ton of information on that later, but first let's go over our JK Bellypan that we have installed on the Jeep behind us. This is the Bellypan that started it all, the JK Series Bellypan. It's available for both 2 and 4-door JKs with the 3.6 and 3.8 liter motors. Let's go into talking about some of the materials that actually make this. I'm going to start off by going over our steel brackets with this Bellypan. This is 3/16 inch steel. It is zinc coated, so you don't have to worry about constant upkeep for painting, rust, anything like that. It also uses all OEM mounting positions, so you don't have to drill any holes in your vehicle to install this. Over the years, Artec Industries has tried several different materials when developing these awesome Bellypan systems. They've tried steel, 50/52 aluminum, and 60/61 T6 heat-treated aluminum, which we still use to this day. As an avid off-roader with over 20 years experience, I used to think steel Bellypans were superior until I started thrashing on these 60/61 T6 Bellypans. Now I'm a firm believer that these are the best skid plates that you can buy for your Jeep as well as your customers, and here's why. The best feature about this Bellypan is all the coverage that you actually get under here. It's going to protect your oil pan skid, your transmission pan skid, your transfer case, as well as your fuel tank. So all your vital organs are completely encased and you don't have to worry about puncturing anything. Another great thing about this is the hardware we use. It's going to be all countersunk hardware, so you don't have to worry about any bolt heads hanging down, anything to catch on. All the fit and finish is very nice and tight, so you have seamless gaps between all the different panels, so there's nothing to hang up on. Some other great benefits of this Bellypan are derived from the materials it comes from. The 60/61 T6 aluminum works really well as a heat sink, pulling heat away from your vital components. It's nice and lightweight, so you're not gaining a ton of weight adding on skid plates for the vehicle. And it also has a nice memory, so if you do hit it on a rock or a ledge, it will flex and go back to the factory shape, and you don't have to worry about any damage to your vehicle. Best of all, this Bellypan is made 100% in-house in America, so we have control from start to finish when it comes to laser cutting, bending, TIG welding, and packaging to give you the best product for your dollar. Okay, you guys have seen the JK Bellypan. This is the new Alpha Series Bellypans. They're second generation Bellypans for the JLs and JTs, and we're going to go over that now. One of the best features of the Alpha Series Bellypan is the modularity of the system. You can start with the engine oil skid. As your budget allows, you can go on to the transfer case and fuel tank skids as another unit. Then we do have a mid-mounted muffler skid that we partnered with MagnaFlow developed for 392s. So you have a muffler skid or a mid-mount exhaust skid as well. A couple of the refinements with the Alpha Series Bellypan system are the oil pan drain door, as well as increased clearance here at the crossover pipe. Some other awesome benefits of the Alpha Series Bellypan are you gain 3/4 of an inch ground clearance over stock. We use an OEM grade magnite coated hardware, as well as the same 60/61 T6 aluminum that does not gall up on rocks. The tensile strength is actually closer to steel, so it glides real smooth. There's no reason to use UHMW with it. You can see I'm gonna run my hand right down here, right where we've been dragging this along rocks, and it's not cutting me, no burrs, nothing like that. All the panels are still nice and tight and smooth and flush, so there's nothing to hang up on. Now that you've seen the JK Bellypan and the JL Alpha Series Bellypan, we have our gas JT up here on the rack with the Alpha Series JT Bellypan. So like the JL Alpha Series Bellypan, the JT Alpha Series Bellypan is modular as well. You can start with the oil pan skid, and then you can move on to the transmission, transfer case, and the fuel tank skid as a unit, or you can buy everything as a complete Bellypan. The JT Alpha Series Bellypan still uses the same countersunk hardware as the JL Alpha Series does. And the nice thing is, it still uses the same 1/4 inch thick 60/61 T6 heat-treated aluminum. You guys can see all the battle scars this Bellypan's endured, and I can tell you one thing, it's virtually maintenance-free. You don't have to worry about constantly painting, you don't have to worry about denting, anything like that. Still nice and smooth. I can run my hands all up and down it, no cuts, no scrapes. It's just designed for years and years of abuse. Now that you've learned about the JK, JL, and JT Alpha Series Bellypans, this is the newest edition that we have out. This is the Alpha Series for the Jeep Wrangler JL 4xe. It is 99% bolt-on. There's only one hole that you have to drill in a factory bracket to use our supplied bracket along with it. And it's also 100% fully modular. So you can start with the engine oil skid, move on to the transmission and transfer case and fuel skid, And then after that, you can actually purchase the battery power pack skid here as well. Just like all the other Alpha Series belly pans, this one uses the same great materials. The 1/4 inch thick 6061 T6 aluminum, 1/4 inch thick cross members that are steel, as well as steel 3/16 inch bracketry. All the steel components are zinc plated for corrosion resistance. Let's talk about what you're actually going to be protecting with this belly pan system. The 4xe is a very complicated vehicle. There's a lot of different systems working with this, and we had to engineer this belly pan to protect every single one of those features. I'm going to start off with going over the oil pan skid for this vehicle. It goes over and protects more than just the oil pan itself. There's a bump out here to protect the high voltage lines as for the inverters. It also protects the PCM, which is in this area for the hybrid system and the motor. And there's also pumps over in this area here for the cooling system for the big battery in the back of the vehicle that this will also protect. The second modular part of this belly pan I want to go over is the transmission, transfer case, and charcoal caster skid plate here, as well as the fuel tank skid. This can be all purchased as one unit. The final part I want to talk about with this modular system is the power pack skid here. It's designed to protect your exhaust, the power pack, all the cooling lines, as well as the battery lines. It's designed with the clearance for the drive shaft in mind, along with the coil spring as well, and it still uses the same countersunk hardware as everything else. Now we're on to the final belly pan for the segment. This is the diesel belly pan for our Gladiator. This still has all the same attributes of every other belly pan that we offer. The 6061 1/4 inch thick aluminum. It has full coverage. It is modular, so you can start with the oil pan skid here. In addition to some of the other belly pans that we offer, the oil pan skid on this also protects your catalytic converter. Then later on down the road, you can purchase the def tank and gas tank skid, as well as the transfer case skid, all this as one unit. It also protects your particulate filter, so your full exhaust system here is completely protected with this belly pan, as well as your gas tank and your def tank over here. Like our other belly pans, this one still offers the same removable panels. The first one I want to talk about is for the diesel only. It's right here. Undo a couple bolts, drop it down, and you can replace your fuel filter and put it back up rather than needing to drop the whole fuel tank skid. Another removable door, just like all the other belly pans, is going to be the removable door here for the oil drain plug. That concludes our belly pan video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to sales@artecindustries.com, and thanks for watching.